You're not.
No.
Hello and welcome back to the Remembering Tuscola webcast. I'm David Porter. I'm here with our experts, Mike Carroll and Englehardt. You guys are experts, right?
What do you think?
Well,
What do you
I don't
think?
think we've
In
ever
some
been
things-
called that.
Not anything.
Well,
Not anything I know.
just between you and me, we are, but
Yeah, but that's
no
outside
one
of-
else is.
Bill, hey, Bill, I just wondered, is that Rosa Parks back over your corner?
That's Rosa Parks.
Is that
yes.
Rosa Parks?
Mhm.
Looks like
Without glasses.
Yeah.
That's Rosa Parks.
Well, good. We got it right.
I-
We're one for one.
One for one.
I,
Yeah.
I saw that picture. I've had that picture for probably 30 years or more. I liked it because it reminds me of my great grandmother, the way she did her hair sometimes. But I also always had it hanging on the wall. I always wanted to encourage my kids to appreciate other races and cultures, and also to share the lesson that Rosa Parks did one small thing, but it changed a lot of things for blacks in America by refusing to sit at the back of the bus. And so the lesson being that you don't always have to do something big to make a big difference. Just to encourage my kids to hold to their convictions, and you can change the world. So
Well, that's nice of you.
That's a good lesson.
Good lesson. My mom always told me to do big things.
Bring
Bring home the bacon.
home the bacon.
Make us proud.
Yeah.
well, my grandmother always told me, the bigger they are, the harder they fall.
No,
That's true.
that's very true.
Yeah, the right banana gets picked first. Stick your head above a crowd, you get it chopped off.
Mm-hmm.
The highest praise my mother could ever give anybody is she's common. I said, what about so-and-so? She's very common.
Common.
I said, is that good? Oh,
That's really good.
that's as good as it gets.
Well, grandma's lesson, grandma was not very tall, but her lesson was more of a don't be intimidated and don't back down.
Mm.
I was that way for a while till I got beat up a couple of times. That was a joke.
Mm-hmm. I know. I was
I,
thinking.
no, I remember coming home from grade school one day. There's the three guys that were going to beat me up, just one of me. And so I ran home and told my mom, and I expected her to go down there and take care of that. And her response was, you go right back to that school and you tell them I'll take every one of you on one at a time. You want to fight, we'll fight, but it'll be a fair fight. I didn't really want to do that, but
A lot bigger than you.
well, yeah, everybody was bigger than me. But I went back to the school and they were gone, so I didn't have to fight them.
Well, Bill and I were in a situation once where a bunch of Villa Grove guys wanted to beat us up, and they were mouthing. I said, you want to fight me, buddy? And they said, yeah. I said, there's me, buddy.
Yeah. All right.
Ready to
Well, well, anything else before we get started?
Well, it was a quiet week from my catbird seat.
Big pothole up on 57 or 45. What's the
What
deal
happened?
up there?
It cave in?
I don't know. It said it's gigantic pothole on WCIA this morning.
I'll be darned.
Where is it?
We drove up 45 yesterday. Did you see a pothole?
They were doing that bridge work up
Yeah.
there. I don't know. This morning, well, something. It's kind of like a sinkhole, evidently.
Oh yeah, wow. That's all we need for the earth to sink into the middle.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see some pictures while we are still alive. Now that's
Now we know him.
familiar face. We
Yes.
know him.
Very familiar.
You know him.
I guess we need
Year?
huh?
The year is, if I can find the year on the envelope.
50.
About
54.
55.
54.
1956.
Got initials?
Yeah, FB.
F?
F as in Frank. Now, Alan Mishner knew it, so I know,
B is in Bragg,
huh?
Bragg?
Nope.
Not Frank Bellis.
You gonna let Mishner get one over on you?
Oh, Mister gets all of them over us.
He's very wise.
Yeah.
Fred Bass.
Okay, Mabry Bass's husband. That's where the golf course is, the
Mhm.
Bass land. They lived where Mike Rogers and now Steve Wetzel and his wife live.
That's Crossman, isn't it? The banker?
Well, Russ,
Ding, 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 ding. That is Russell Crossman, 1949.
oh
Wow.
boy. Had white hair. I remember him with white hair, but that's, of course, we all had dark hair at one time.
Yeah.
So I'll just point out, Mishner didn't have this one.
Well,
Well, we did.
We're tied with
We're
him.
tied.
So if you're keeping score,
Get Mitch on another computer and we'll have a, oh, that's the amphitheater.
Now, a lot of history there.
Oh boy.
there is a lot of history here, and I've got several of these pictures. These are from 1947.
There's
So-
Larry Meister right back there.
There are not a ton of pictures of the amphitheater at Irvin Park. And so some of these pictures kind of rare because they're showing that feature that's no longer there.
And they're looking to the south,
Yeah, east.
southeast. And if you were to look over to the far left of this picture where you see nothing but farmland, that would be,
Wasn't the stage on the north?
the stage was on the far north end of the park.
I mean, didn't it,
Yes,
weren't they looking north?
and it faced
The
south.
stage faced
This is
south.
kind of going southeast, yeah.
I thought
Well, the way
just-
this angle of the camera is.
okay, but in the audience, you're looking north and on the stage, you're looking south. I
Yes,
thought.
if you're directly on the stage, in the center of the stage, you're looking south.
I remember as a young kid, we used to have races up and down those
Yes,
concrete
we did.
steps. And today I realize if we'd slipped, we'd
Oh
lost
my
all our
God.
teeth.
We'd been, well, you could have killed yourself.
There's Carl Arbuckle. I see,
Look at that news camera.
yeah,
This was a barbershop
Yeah.
singing event.
yeah.
Hmm.
You're gonna show us some of the barbershoppers, I bet.
Yeah, look at the baby pram there.
Zingo.
Yeah, that was me and
There's Clyde Didaball.
Clyde had a ball.
Didaball, that was his
Did a
cousin.
ball. Oh,
Spell it
So
differently.
here's a guy with a tie. People would dress up to go out.
Oh, boy.
ladies in hats.
Yeah,
Well,
a lot of men are wearing hats.
look like
So
my-
anyway, we got several of these pictures.
Good,
There's some barber shoppers.
yeah.
Oh, my
Boy,
goodness.
that's a big barbershop group.
Now,
Yeah.
this is a wonderful picture because I remember when the back was on the stage,
Mhm.
there's the field right north, which would be the golf course now, towards the golf course.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah, you're looking over toward the railroad tracks over
Mhm.
there. That at the time, that was the world's biggest barbershop quartet.
I think
Quartet
that-
means
I don't know if it
four.
was a competition and they brought everybody out to sing
They brought
together.
everybody out. They didn't have enough time to do them one at a time, so brought them all out at one time, and then you pick the winner.
And I believe we'll find in some of these pictures that there are some local people. In fact, in this one, fourth from the left. Let me see if I can find fourth from the left, according to Danny Matthews, is Lauren Matthews.
Well, I can't figure out where fourth is.
1, 2, 3 would be this dark-haired person here.
Hmm.
Would be my guess. And then he says that seventh from the right, be over
Oh.
here. I don't know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, which would be in here, depending on how he's counting. He says is PL Cooper.
Well, PL was real
He
tall,
was real tall.
about 6'3". I don't know if I see PL there.
I don't know if it's this one. I don't know. It's hard.
Not
hard
ever,
to tell,
no.
unless he's
He was
looking at counting from just front row or something. I don't know.
Right there.
Because there's a tall guy.
But he's awfully short.
I don't think he can sing either.
No.
Hey, goddamn, big guy. That goddamn big guy.
Yeah, I bet he was there.
Okay.
Good.
All right.
That's a nice picture. Ladies in the suits. This might have been on a Sunday afternoon in the park,
Yeah.
Irvin Park, best of times.
I like to see a people here.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's those. Now, those look like wood, but eventually they were concrete.
Yeah. Well, that could have been up front, maybe.
Oh,
Maybe
man.
it's cheap seats.
Yeah, the cheap seats.
Maybe they'll show some more with its concrete, but it was poured concrete.
Yeah.
Is that you sitting next to that girl down
That is,
there?
that is our first date. I had one date with her. Now, these guys just got their tax return. And
They're happy. They're
they're-
singing
They're howling,
at the moon.
barking at the moon.
Did you see that moon last night?
Nice moon.
Kind of romantic.
Yeah, comets going by. Look at those tides.
Now, according to Gary Neal, the one on the right is, of course, this is a joke for people that might not. Gary Neal says, Rudy Giuliani on the right.
Yeah. Well, that does look like Rudy.
It does look a little like Rudy, doesn't it?
Yeah. Look at those white polka dot ties. You just can't find those anymore. I've looked. You talk about neck stranglers, those things go under your sternum and that's it.
That's it.
I don't know if the flag was displayed correctly, but they tried.
God, is that Grover Helm? Looks like Grover Helm.
I don't think it does look like him. I don't think Grover sang.
Yeah, Danny Matthews says Lauren Matthews fourth from left again. So 1, 2, 3, fourth. We put him white shirt and tie.
Mhm.
Looks like Oppenheimer in there too. I wonder if he came to sing.
You see Oppenheimer here in the dark hair.
Yeah, dark hair and the glasses.
Mhm.
He was taking a break from his congressional anti-communist hearings.
Mhm.
Yeah.
They put the bomb underneath the stage.
That's pure concrete. Look at that.
Yes, it is. Well, I'm telling you, that place, it was neat as a kid.
I don't remember the wooden ones down low.
I don't either. You suppose they had this on the radio, Mike? See
Could have
down here
been.
on the bottom right?
Could have been.
WD, WZ.
Right on WDZ.
When did
Yeah.
it wrap up? When did WDZ end?
It was still on the air. And what did you say, 47?
This is yeah, these pictures are the envelope says 1947.
Yeah.
So do you see a PL Cooper anywhere?
Well, let's look. PL would have been a young looking guy, but he was a tall. Wait, is that Harry Pate, the judge?
You know what? Mike, I think you're almost right.
The guy
Look
with
at
the
those
cane.
Oxford shoes.
Go left a little bit the other way. Right there, underneath the you tell me your
Dreams.
dreams. And right below that is a gentleman,
And those saddle Oxford shoes.
saddle Oxford shoes. Looks like
It does look like Harry Pate.
Judge Harry Pate. I don't know if he was a singer. Could have been. Keep scanning. We'll look for PL.
Man, some of these guys got on some real shoes.
They
don't
dudded up, didn't they?
Yeah.
He may have parachuted in from his plane.
Hmm. Hmm.
No, this was the original Hee Haw group.
I gotta say, must be.
This group didn't have matching ties on.
No,
No.
that guy, that second guy from the right, his suit certainly fits well.
I think this was a comedy act, wasn't it?
No, that's the Hee Haw group. They,
Mhm.
the
Yeah.
Foggy Bottom Four, I think they
Yeah.
call themselves.
There's an old joke about a suit. The guy
Yeah.
goes in and buys a suit and he says, well, it doesn't fit quite right. And the guy who made the suit said, no, you just hold the jacket over here like this with your hand and yeah, it looks fine. And he said, well, but now the pants don't. Well, you just take your other hand, you hold the pants over here and looks fine. And well, the shoulders aren't quite right. Well, you just hunch over a little bit and yeah, it fits you just fine. Looks great. And he goes out the door and somebody passing by says, look at that poor man. I wonder what's wrong with him. And the other person says, well, I don't know, but the suit looks good.
The suit sure fits.
Yeah.
That was a great joke.
So, yeah, well,
Well, that looks like the
well,
guy. That looks like the guy in the joke.
it does look like the guy in the joke, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's, I
Yeah.
think,
Looks like he used his elbow to keep this thing up, and
you got the guy with the tin cup here.
he's hoping for tips.
Well, it looks like he's got like something in there.
Yeah, this is a
Pencils or
comedy act.
Yeah.
yeah, some kind of fun. There you
Oh,
go.
yeah. Look at that. He looks familiar, doesn't he?
Yeah.
That's got initials on that.
Let's see.
I'm not good on initials.
Let me double check my envelope, make sure that's the same guy. And the initials are BB.
G?
B as in boy.
BB. Hmm.
And we should know him.
You should know him. I lost my picture.
Here, we've got it. You want it back?
No, yeah, you got it?
What's his first name? Bill?
Bob,
Oh, Basil.
Rathbone,
Basil.
Basil. I'm sorry, David, I never knew a Basil.
Basil Browning,
Oh, I wonder if that's Mike's.
1955.
Well, that's Mike Browning's dad, and there's the guy.
Francis.
There's the guy who kicked me out of school. Francis's dad.
Possibly.
This guy just got his colonoscopy.
Well, they were doing it while he's taking
Yeah,
the
that's
picture.
This one is a newer photo. George Nichols.
Oh my gosh, we should have known. That was
Mhm.
Nichols McCown, George Nichols, big lawyer. He would walk into Gus's when I was
Yeah.
a young kid. And Gus would say, what do you, they'd cuss a lot. And he said, what are you doing here, you young SOB? And he said, shut your mouth, you stupid blank Greek. They would yell at each other. He would go in and get bicarbonate soda.
Mhm.
And I guess he had a lot of stress as a lawyer. And from the looks of his face, he needed a lot of bicarbonate soda. His son, Bo Nichols, graduated Tuscola 51, lives over in Newman. Good old Bo. Good friends with Mr. Helm. Now
That's
looks like-
Kahneman. That's Harry
that's
Kahneman.
Harry Kahneman, Bob Kahneman's brother. From Champaign, came down. He flew airplanes with Bob.
He was a nice fellow.
1954. This other picture was from 1970, so that was fairly new.
Yeah.
This
But
was
I just didn't-
1954.
Yeah, Bob's brother Harry. Did he work in the business with Bob? What
You
did
know what? It just seems like to me he did in some way, shape, or form.
Just nice guy.
I remember him as a very nice, easygoing guy.
Yeah. I don't think he played golf like Bob did, but
No,
he may have had a bad
Right.
leg.
seemed like they had a side adventure.
Did he have a bad leg?
Yes, he did, I believe. You're right.
Kendra
Yes.
Estrich says, looks like Tom Hanks.
Well, he does a little bit.
And Doug Cottle says he sees Jimmy Kimmel.
Well, he does a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's Harry Kahneman.
Yep, Harry Kahneman.
We got him. Oh boy, Mike, look at the kid.
What's the year?
The year is 1955.
That could be you or I.
It could be.
And I got to tell you, Mitchell got this one right.
Is that Lecker? Dave Lecker? No, on the right. Give us the initials on give us the first letter of their last
Kid
name.
was long-legged.
First letter of the last name is L.
I say Lecker.
You would be wrong. This is the Reverend Donald, is it Lemcow?
Lemcow. That's David Lemcow.
Mhm.
Remember David?
Mhm.
David Lemcow.
I never went in.
Methodist minister.
I wasn't in their church.
No, I know Michener wasn't either. No, Michener was a Methodist.
He
wasn't
was a Methodist.
Yeah, he would know.
Yeah, see, he would know. He
David
went
was
to
our
church.
class, I think. The boy was our class.
They didn't stay long.
No,
Okay.
there's
Oh, that's
there's Bob. That's
Bob Kahneman.
Harry's brother.
Wow, what a great picture.
I told you the story last week. I don't want to bore anybody, but
Too late, Mike. No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding.
oh,
Just-
I won't. But
just
some people may be watching for the first time.
yeah.
The great Tuscola football team of 39, 40, 41 won like 36 games in a row, and they were only beat by Champaign by a touchdown or two. And the Champaign star halfback that beat him was Bob Kahneman right there, who came down and married Bill Huber's sister. And of course, he's the father of Rick, Bill's classmate, who we all think the world of. Rob, Danny died, didn't he, in a
Yeah.
car wreck?
Kid.
Kit, who's down in
Florida.
Birmingham, used to be is she in Florida?
She was in Alabama.
She was in Birmingham, Alabama for a long time.
Rick and Rob were in Panama City at one time.
Rick was a real estate developer. I think Rob worked in the store. Bob had a store down there.
Isn't there a little sister too?
There was a little sister below Kit. Yeah, what was her name?
Oh, God.
Rudy Huber. No, you got any Rudy Huber comments here? That's his.
Well, Jamie Huber says, my uncle Bob Kahneman, he'd pick up all the Huber kids and off we'd go to his Patterson Springs cabin
Yeah.
and play ice hockey on Sundays throughout the winter. Sometimes we got to play night hockey and he'd place Coleman lanterns on the boundary lines. It is one of the most magical childhood memories.
Well, they had a little red 2-story cabin, not very big, had a boat dock below it on the west side of Patterson there in the middle. In Little League, Rick was a Cardinal on my team at Little League. At the end of the year, he gave us all flights in his airplane. And he said, what do you think, Mike? It only fit like one in the cockpit and 2 in the back. And I said, this is kind of scary. He said, watch this. And he did a rollover.
That's first airplane ride I ever had.
Bob was
fearless.
Bob was fearless.
He was really a nice guy.
He flew the plane. In fact, when he died, I told Rick, I said, what a way. Bob was on a motorcycle at 80 or something, 80 years old. And I said, that's Bob. Bob didn't want to die in a nursing home. Take me out in a plane crash or motorcycle. Great guy.
We've got a lot of comments. Of course, the Hubers all check out this, the pictures, and a lot of nice comments from them. And Rudy says, looks like Dan.
Mm-hmm.
And
He was a handsome guy. And my memory back playing golf with Rick was a nice guy, but every now and then he'd do something like he'd speed up and go about 90 miles an hour, and he'd come up on his dad. His dad always caught him. If Rick did something wrong, his dad caught him.
His mom caught him one time skipping school.
Yeah.
He'd come down the stairs there on Main Street, and because he was colorblind, his clothes were not very coordinated. She knew he was up to no good.
He didn't know he was colorblind for the longest time, and eventually his mom laid his clothes out for him. Now we should know this guy too.
Another taskmaster. Why didn't we ever take a picture like that?
We were not what's called the lions of the community.
Mm.
Initials?
CW.
Don't tell me Mitchner got this right.
No, but Chubb Connor did.
Well, Chubb would. CW?
Mm-hmm.
No, that's not their old principal, is it?
That's not Willeman.
Willeman.
1954.
Well, that was Chubb's senior year, I think, or junior year was 54. Warren?
We give up.
Claude Ware.
Oh, Bill Ware's dad.
Oh, yeah.
Bill and John Ware's dad.
Yeah.
Wareco Oil.
Well, the three Ware boys, John, Bill, and who was the third one? They were all good athletes. Wound up in Jacksonville, started Wareco Gas Company with their oil holdings.
And this picture was taken for National Petroleum News.
Yeah, he was
There you
an
go.
oil man. They used to have Wareco gas stations
Yeah.
going into Champaign there by the par 3 golf course there.
They should have named the estate out there South Fork, like in Dallas. Remember?
Mm-hmm.
His son Brad is a friend of mine over in Springfield.
Mm-hmm.
Just retired from as the communications person for the FBI over in Springfield. Here we have
Clyde Headyball.
the most iconic picture of the week.
It is a good picture.
Isn't that a cool picture?
Yeah.
That looks
very
like
much
something
so.
out of the Depression.
But
Well,
it's-
Initials?
the year is 19. Well, this is in pencil. It's hard to read. 1946, 45,
I'll tell you
1940.
what, Pettit was a great photographer.
And the initials are CB.
Nope.
Chester Brinkley.
Well, that's the dad.
No. That would be
Was that a
there
brother of the
3
twins?
brothers?
Well, we knew the twins.
You know, I didn't
Well, there
even
are other
think about
Brinkleys.
that. Chester?
Mike Brinkley was in
That's what it looks like.
Oh, he was in class.
If you can read it, if I can find the
we knew there were Brinkleys in town. There were the Brinkley brothers, and then Mike Brinkley lived down on
name.
Yeah, Mike Brinkley was class of 67.
Interesting picture.
Mm-hmm.
He must ask all of them to look serious because none of them are big grins. He got unique poses. He had them wear their natural clothes. They're just wonderful pictures. This is something you could publish a book about, like the Depression era pictures.
1945.
Initials?
E.T. Phone home. Ernest Thayer is what it looks like.
Their implement? Where's Utterback when we need him?
Bob would know. That's Allison TV in the 50s out on the highway, I think, where Jimmy Kleiss had his stockbroker firm right next to the Ford garage.
Well, you're close. It is the 1950s.
That's not Allison's TV. Who else could that be? What is it? Here a second. I'm looking at the stonework on it.
It looks like the front of Allison's.
Well,
doesn't it?
Fan days are here.
Look at that fan, floor circulation. And there's a double window fan. We had one of those.
Yeah.
That's air.
According to the envelope, it's Weber Electric.
Where was that at, Bill?
Well, at one time, he had electric where P&H is. Of course, we remember him living up on the corner where Lonnie's daughter lives on the corner now across from
Right.
Christie. But
P&H, where Phil Waters has his,
Phil Lamb.
Phil Lamb has his, stores his
Yeah.
cars.
Yeah,
I don't remember the brickwork. It looks like limestone from
I know.
Indiana.
I know.
I don't remember the limestone.
Hmm.
Initials?
FH.
Nice tie.
This is a little older. This is 1938.
Looks like an educator.
Floyd Heaton.
Did you say Seacom?
Heaton,
Oh,
H-E-A-T-O-N.
that would be Mary Haynes was a Heaton. Old Tom Haynes' wife, Mary, ran the Poplar Cafe.
Yeah.
Look at the size of that negative.
This must be a brother or something, maybe. Who knows?
Maybe, is that why they're such high quality?
Yeah.
What is that, a 4x5 format? What's he using?
I think so. Well, actually, I think it may be 5x7.
Man, that was I would like to carry around that camera all day long.
This negative was a little thin, so you can see, right through it.
But I tell you what, this great shot.
Mm-hmm.
These might be tripod shots from a big bellows camera. There is Jim Lemna.
Yep, that was easy.
He lived out of Patterson Springs. When he retired, I joined the firm with Emerson Moore. Jim was a top-notch lawyer.
No nonsense.
No nonsense. I went out when I was state's attorney for about a year or two. And Jim, I was state's attorney, and Jim invited me out with my wife at the time to
Swimming pool.
Yeah. And had us out to eat on a Friday night. I never figured out why. And basically, he wanted me to hear the music from the tavern on the corner there, hoping I might bring some legal action to stop
Whiskey
it.
Hill.
Yeah. So I told him at the time, I said, Jim, I had a couple of questions. I said, being state's attorney, I can't believe how tough it is. People threaten to kill me. I've got people, blah, blah, blah. I said, this is unbelievably hard. He said, well, you took the job, now do it. I thought, okay. Jim was very stoic. No excuses. Just do it. Tim was in my class, his son became a dentist. And Jennifer, I think, was up in Champaign last I knew. These are just high quality, unbelievable pictures.
Wonderful pictures.
This is really, really nice quality. And
look at the detail on the print on that dress and everything.
Another big negative.
Wow, that is 5x7.
Yeah, 5x7 negative. And so Chubb Connor got this one right.
Got initials?
Well, the guy's initial is GF.
Is that a from?
Nope.
Not a Fullerton.
Not a Fullerton. I don't think.
It's in 1955, and ding, 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 Bill got it.
Fullerton?
Fullerton, George Fullerton, I assume his wife.
Well, I knew Clark.
Didn't know George.
Didn't know George.
They lived apparently at 109 East Wilson. And
109 East Wilson.
And the price they paid was $21.75 in 1955.
Buy the house?
No, for the photos.
Oh.
What's $21.75 today from 1955?
We're going to check that out today. 109 East Wilson. But, George Fullerton.
Well, that's right across is that right across the
he
street from
be
the
a-
elevator?
Well, would he? Yes.
The parking
Down by
lot?
that laundromat or whatever. I bet the house is not there anymore.
No.
You know where we'll find it on Find a Grave. We'll look up Fullerton.
And we won't find the house there though, will we?
No, but we'll.
They buried the houses now with them?
You better get an extra lot.
Okay, Dave.
All right. I was trying to access my inflation calculator, but my internet's going slow.
Johnny Morris. Tuscola Township,
Well, you know, Phil's starting to look like his dad, isn't he?
Tuscola Township Supervisor of Assessments. His wife Frida was a long time Douglas County Clerk, and Johnny
Was post office.
Post Office, Postmaster, and Johnny was the captain, I think, of the great 26 or 27 team with Tack Green, I believe. Good athlete. Good guy, classy guy.
1955, $21.75 would be worth $253.48 today.
Wonder what you were doing calculating there.
Mm-hmm.
There's Johnny again. Good looking guy. Well, I'll tell you what, it was worth it because those are professional photos.
Yeah, and some of these I had a couple poses. I couldn't decide which one, so I used them both.
It's almost like Ansel Adams. I mean, it looks like he's
Eli Murphy.
Eli Murphy it is. 1956. Mike, I think Bill may be a little ahead of you today.
I'm writing them down for him. I want Bill to get some get some roses. You know, I get all the roses.
He was quite a character.
He looks like a character.
This one's got a little fuzz to it. It's not quite the same high quality.
By the way, Bill, Alan Michener also got Eli Murphy. So if you're keeping score,
Well,
Mitch lived down near him. They were in the rich side of town. Bill and they were on the poor side.
yeah.
Initials?
ES.
ES?
ES. I
like
thought
his
maybe
suit.
this was the guy that was driving the Cord car. I don't know. It's,
Oh, I was getting ready to
No.
say that's the
No mustache.
Looks like a suit from the but it is from 1943.
Help us out.
Earl Stoops.
well, it is part of the deal.
Earl, who?
Stoops.
Stoops. It looks like.
I never heard that name.
Yeah.
From Tuscola. I had two poses of him because I got
That's
almost
that's his post office shot.
Yeah, that's the one they put in the post office.
looked like mug shots.
That was right after Earl.
Yeah. Earl should have.
Well, he got in trouble.
You'll get in trouble.
Well, he's probably, let's see, from 1943. So he's probably not here to sue us for making jokes.
A little napkin.
Would we be able to?
Got some water on white.
Yeah, I got a little water over here. Would we be able to take a picture like that? Why would you take a profile?
Post office.
Like that? Could be
Yeah.
for a passport. I don't know.
I don't know. I thought it looks familiar.
OT.
Tim. What was his first
Highway
name?
Commissioner.
Highway
Troy
Commissioner.
Tim.
Tim, but
Horrible.
what do you got?
Ott Twyford.
There's no Tuscola name. Michener surely got him.
Well, let me check. Nope, nobody got him.
Twyfords were,
Yeah.
that's an old Tuscola name.
Tward.
The note inside said that he wanted to pose without the hat. So I wanted to show him with the hat.
There, that's Ott Twyford.
Yeah. So if anyone in his family had this picture, they probably haven't seen this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I
Love the sport coat.
I recognized him, and also noticed with his hat on his head, he's smiling.
Yeah.
Everything is right with the world once that
He
head's
just-
covered up.
He'd just gone into Jake's pool hall.
We're going to Jake's, and we beat him in a game of snooker. Okay. We just had the initials.
JJ.
What?
JJ. The year is 1952.
Josephine Johnson.
No.
Ding, 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 ding. Bill, how'd you do it?
You know what? I remember her. Years later, she worked at the U of I. I don't know if Andrea rode to work with her or not. Did she marry Lloyd?
What, Ashwell?
No. Was it Holmes? I don't know. She was, I know that's crazy for me to get that one. But I remember her. She'd come into Carpenter's when I was a kid in high school.
You got it right. It's there's
Bet no one else got it.
no one else got it. So
Goes into the Hall of Fame.
you're
Emory Tuscola Hall of Fame.
She was as an older woman, she was a classy lady. I remember that.
Yeah, well, you can just tell.
Mhm.
Ott Twyford later, when he lost his hair.
And his hat.
And his hat, and he's not happy.
this
We know
is-
this guy.
This is from 1943. The initials are BS.
Well, we do a lot of that.
Well, that's BS.
Yeah,
Boyd Stinger,
a little bit before his time, probably.
I mean, his granddad,
The first name is Bill
Stallsworth.
Stanbuck.
Well, there's a new one.
I don't know that name.
No.
1943. You know this one.
Oh,
Roy Hopkins.
Roy Hopkins.
Good old Roy.
Greet you at the bank, married to Hallie Hopkins.
Who taught grade school.
Yeah, Hallie was fifth grade teacher. Roy was the greeter at the bank in his later years.
Used to be Doug McCumber hired him at the First National Bank because Roy had probably about 10 or 20 good customers that would go wherever Roy went.
He was just a nice fellow, a
Always
greeter.
friendly.
You know, this is from 1963, which is before I was born. And I can tell you, I recognize this picture because Roy Hopkins' appearance never changed. Every photo I've ever seen of him, he looks just like this.
Yeah. No, he never. That looks like Roy from the start till the finish.
This looked like, this could have, if you'd told me this was Roy Hopkins in the 1980s, I'd have believed you.
Oh, yeah. Like I say, Doug put him at a desk right there as you walk in the bank, and Roy was their goodwill ambassador. Keith Tingley. We've talked about Keith, lived across the street from my parents.
When did you
and
graduate? About 47,
Keith would have been,
46, 47?
no, he might have played. There's a photo of him with the football team from
Early
like
40s.
early 40s.
Nice fellow, good kids. All the Tingley boys were good boys.
Great personality. In fact, he wound up being national president of ABC, I think.
Mhm.
I think it probably cost him his business or hurt his business because he was gone so much it was quite an honor.
Yeah, I wonder what his lapel is. Is that
Lions, I don't know what that is.
5-year pen.
or something. Keith ran a printing business out of his garage,
Yeah.
right across the street from where we lived. Alex, Paul, and Lyle were the three boys.
Oh, man, this guy
Worked at
looks
DeKalb.
familiar.
DeKalb guy. You should know him.
I just can't place it. Don't tell me Metzger got this one too.
Nobody got this one.
Okay, who
I
do
think
we
this
have?
is- I think this is the last one of our portraits for today.
Okay, who is it?
It's from 1955, Kenneth Nelson.
Kenny
Oh, my gosh.
Kenny-
Shoe repairman.
Well, he was a Tuscola police officer for
Uh-huh.
years, and then he
Lived on
repaired,
Scott Street.
repaired shoes.
His wife's name was Pauline.
Uh-huh.
Kenny was kind of rough.
Well, you didn't want to hit him in the jaw,
Oh, he was strong. But he had a shoe repair in the hotel.
but they didn't look like Ken. I guess,
That doesn't look like him, does it?
course,
That's a
nobody-
young man.
of course, nobody looking at us in high school would know us either. Well, they know you. You haven't changed.
Yeah, no, you haven't changed.
Oh, yeah.
No, yeah, I saw you dunking balls last night out the park.
I took a walk through the double ugly forest and got beat to death.
Not hard.
I got French kissed by a Mack truck, man. It's just, the face has been rearranged.
No.
Okay, there's a school board
Boy.
back in the.
Recognize a couple of these guys.
Oh, we
all
got
of-
him.
There's
We
Mr.
got
Reeder, Mr. Gil Reeder's dad,
John Bundy.
John Bundy, Dr. Ragsdale. In the back, left to right, is we had 3 doctors on the school board back then. Dr. Ragsdale had a PhD in chemistry. Upper left is Dr. Lossman, a dentist, Ned Ferguson, Irv Eaton,
Irv
and then
Eaton,
Dr.
Dr.
Boylston.
Boylston.
3 doctors and 2 farmers.
Close in on that calendar if you can, David.
This is about 64, 5 or so,
Mm,
65 maybe.
The Hillard Agency.
Yeah, the Hillard Agency. So that started in about 60 or 55, 56.
This is 64, 5 or 6.
Maybe.
Well, I've got a date on the, well, I had a
Mid-60s, mid to late 60s.
76 maybe.
No, this was in the
No,
60s.
this was earlier.
This is 60, 67. This is about the time of the controversial Butkovich hiring as principal. Mr. Reeder was
I think
involved in
you're
that.
right.
Irv Eaton was involved in that, lost his milk business over it.
And Reader's first name was Robert, wasn't it?
Robert Reeder.
Mhm.
He never
Yes.
changed. And Ragsdale is another one that his picture, it always looks the same.
You just had a picture, your paper carried an article about a month or 2 ago where Gail Reeder and his sister, what's her name?
Gil Reeder's sister, I can't
Yeah.
remember.
Class of 60, 61,
Mhm.
came back and they sold the farm out of Chicken
Mhm.
Bristle.
Right.
Had been in the family for a long time.
Mr. Reeder was the salt of the earth, just a great guy. And
He was a
Gail,
wonderful guy.
Gail, if you know him, is just like his dad. He's just easygoing.
Old Trots looks like him a little bit there, doesn't he?
Tross looks like him.
Was John Bundy a prisoner of war, I believe?
Mhm. That's the gym on which side is that? South or north? I can't tell. I mean,
Mike, that's not our gym.
That's
No.
not Tuscola, I don't think.
so we had rollaway baskets.
You know what?
Who
that-
else had
I know
rollaway
it.
baskets?
Well,
We didn't have a ceiling like that though.
Oh, you're right.
No.
And we had 2-story decks. Well, let's look at the girls
Is-
down there. That's Becky right there.
Was it?
you know what? It's pretty close to her back, isn't it?
Over to the left. Oh, there's Kahneman.
There's Richard Lindsay.
Richard Lindsay Kahneman. We got all the girls here.
There's Limna,
Tim Lemna and Martha
Yeah.
Eisminger.
Martina Bridges, Wayne Runyon.
There's a
Okay.
Tuscola jacket. Couple of
Carmine.
Tuscola jackets up here.
Yeah.
That's my senior
Where
year.
am I?
Slide it over to the left. The other left.
Yeah,
Slide it,
Becky wants to
slide it,
see
slide it,
herself.
slide it.
We think that's Becky.
That's Becky and her good friend.
Sandy.
Van Doren, isn't that?
Oh, that
her?
Van Dorn.
Kathy Van Doren.
Oh, it is Kathy.
Which
Becky.
one's Becky?
Becky's the one trying to show off her.
It
Well,
looks like I
legs.
have one leg.
Well,
you did
her-
kind of a flamenco.
yeah,
dance.
sometimes you were a little distracting when I was trying to play ball.
Yeah, right. With that one leg.
Yeah, this is 65.
Well, I, I guess you could always get a job at IHOP.
IHOP, that's very clever. David's funny.
David and his puns. He's got a special spot in hell for David and his puns. We could probably recognize everybody in the gym there if we had time.
Hold on, stop it. There's Skinner.
No, that's
Doesn't it?
Is that
See the
Rothgab?
T on his
I think it's
thing?
Rothgab, and maybe
You think it's Roth? I don't think it's Roth.
Skinner would have been in the game, wouldn't he?
Well,
Skinner's on our team.
It must have been a different game.
Well, the
That's last, they're there.
Tuscola cheerleaders, and Laster was on the team.
Yeah, it must have been senior year.
Is that
What are we on?
Ebawaya?
No, he was gone by
Yeah.
then.
Mardina?
That was
What's
There's
that?
Matt Morey.
Matt Moore, there's Roy Davis. Is that Chuck Turnell? Oh.
No,
Oh, there's
Ed York,
Eddie York. Bill O'Brien. No, this is right
Roy
here.
Ziegler,
Is this right here?
Bobby Rogers,
Just
Nader,
another-
Ed Nader.
Ed Nader.
That's
Reinhardt.
Mata. That's Mata.
What was that, Mata?
Yeah, that's Glenn Pugh,
Benner? Wait, right here. Go back a little bit.
Sharon
Where's
Copeland.
Waldo?
Right
Now,
here.
Sharon Copeland's got on a gold tee on
Daryl.
her sweater, Becky. That's
wait.
JV cheerleader.
Hey, is this Daryl Ferris right here?
That's Daryl Ferris.
Okay, slide over.
Which one's Daryl?
With his hand on holding his hands on his second row up, he's got his hands on his chin.
Up here with the glasses?
No, I'm trying to think.
Or over here?
No, go to the right more. Go to the right, a little more. No, the other. You're a little more right there. Daryl had a flat top.
Oh, with the sweater on.
That's Gary Teak, isn't it?
He's holding his hands. His face is in his hands. See him holding his chin?
You know who that looks like?
With the light colored sweater on?
No.
No?
Use your cursor again. I'll show you.
That looks like Wes
Got
Gould.
one here with the glasses on.
Well, I don't know where your cursor is now.
And then you got one over here. Looks
Come
like
down. Come down.
jacket.
Come down.
Come down.
And go to your
Oh,
right.
here with the letter jacket on.
No, go up again. Go to the second row. Go up. Get your cursor up.
Okay, over here.
There you
There
go.
you
You're right on him right there.
Right there.
That's Daryl, I believe. And then over to the right, slide the other way. Slide your right. Roy Ziegler, Bob Rogers.
Copeland. Cheerleader right there.
Well, if you keep sliding. Sharon Copeland. Is that Sandy Hill?
Possibly.
Sharon Green.
Now, what I want to know is though,
There's Jimmy Wright.
uh,
Les Hall. Right there is Les Hall.
yeah, I say Les. If you keep going up as far as you can, slowly. Hold on. There's Bill Skinner.
They start getting blurry at the top.
There.
Yeah, you got your cursor. Right there is Bill
Yeah,
Skinner.
you're on Bill Skinner right
Go
there.
to your left.
That's my mother in the white.
No, you went too far. Right there next to Bill Skinner, white,
That's mom.
and next to
And
him
then
is Monk
Dad,
Monk
yeah.
Engelhardt.
Huh.
They
You
got
don't see my
Bill's
dad there.
parents here.
Yeah, that's my parents.
My dad was at shift work somewhere.
And I was
Oh, look.
attempting to shoot a,
Wayne Neal.
yeah, I was trying to shoot a free throw and Becky, I missed it.
Well,
She
where's the
got-
gym at? Who had roll up gyms?
Well,
like-
go up. I can't believe this gym, the way it looks.
Someone said they thought maybe it was Danny Matthews thought maybe Atwood High School.
I was gonna say maybe Atwood.
They never had roll up baskets on the side. See, go back to the original shot. Go back. Look at that.
But they had that kind of ceiling, Mike.
Yeah, but they never had. This is
Ah.
more like Arcola.
And you know what this is here?
This looks
That's
like,
where Atwood's band used to be. Remember at the end of the gym?
well, let's zero in on the cheerleaders down here. Zero in on those out of town cheerleaders. We probably dated all of them. There you go.
They wouldn't have, why would they be cheering in front of our boys?
Bill, for those rollaway baskets to work, you gotta slide the things in. I think Atwood, I don't think.
Atwood had solid wooden bleachers. I believe that.
But how do
He
they-
may be right. It's Atwood.
Yeah, but once
You just hung them from the ceiling.
yeah, but when you unfold it, it's back in there.
Do you remember
Go
at the
back
east
again.
end of the gym though,
Go
they
back.
had a bandstand thing? You know what I'm saying? That's where the band used to play
I
up
thought it was the
in
west, it
Atwood.
was the west end. wasn't it?
West end's where you came in the gym door. It was always cold because if you opened up the door, they were taking tickets out there and the wind would blow through there. It was cold.
Ask Michener what gym that was. Well, there's we're afraid to yell out names here. We think we see some of them.
What's the black thing on the table?
That's a cardiac resuscitator. You take that thing and put it on your heart, and they send shockwaves through you.
Yeah.
Oh, that a telephone.
Oh, is that telephone? Okay.
And Joyce Lewis said she thinks this might be the bank in Arcola. She says Judy Brandenburg (4th Selma Sweeney).
Oh, in the dark, yeah, third one from the left, Selma Sweeney from Humboldt, belonged to Kaskaskia Country Club for a number of years.
Nothing here. I don't have any names on here. It looks like the basement of a church, maybe.
Trying to figure out that guy. You know what town that was?
No, these are from that 1965, May of 1965 is all I know.
I don't know.
So this looks like maybe inside a church.
Well, looks like a Bible, a
in a
pulpit.
pulpit. Yeah, I don't see Bill though.
Well,
No,
where's
I was in the back room.
where's Waldo?
Oh,
Oh,
I
there.
got this.
This is 1965.
Recognize a couple of these.
Well, on the left was our Jack Robertson,
In his last year as principal
Happy Jack,
or
Happy Jack,
superintendent.
Happy Jack 1965. LH Man, who Bill and I both adore. No nonsense, LH Man. He's smiling.
Yeah, that's boy. You know what?
Yeah.
That's because he's gonna
Got to call Tom up and say,
He's
Tom, we
gonna-
got a picture of your dad. smiling."
LH gonna fire Jack Robertson
There's his second picture of Dad. Looks like he's asleep.
with his eyes closed.
Of course, there's Dr. Lossman. and
Delbert
then there's
Davis,
Delbert Davis, principal at the
Northford Elementary.
Northward Elementary, and Jack
Williams,
at the time was principal of the Southward.
Northward. Well, wait a minute. He was a junior high principal. How was this? Delbert was K6, I believe.
According to Danny Matthews, Jack was North Ward principal and Davis was South Ward principal.
Yeah, that's the way it worked. By
When
the
I was a
way,
kid, Delbert was principal of both schools and Jack was superintendent.
Delbert's wife is Tommy, who is from Rome, Italy, World War II hookup.
bride, what a
Bride.
bride.
Brought her over here, and I think she's still spry and bright as a whip. She's, what is she, 94, 95? Becky?
She's in her 90s.
I don't think Jack Robertson liked my antics.
Jack was, I got one Jack Robertson story. it was study hall, football season, and Bucko was in charge of study hall. I said, Carroll, he said, why don't you go out there and work on your punting a little bit? So I left study hall and I'm out there on the football field punting. And out comes Jack Robertson, dressed just like that in a suit and tie. And he's walking slowly toward me. I'm thinking, oh boy, oh boy. He walks up, he says, I used to punt in high school. Do you care if I punt with you? So he punted a couple with his suit on.
Seriously.
Yeah. I thought, well, this worked out well. I didn't get in trouble.
Mm-hmm. That's George Leonard, it looks like.
Well, no, I don't think so. This looks like, what was this?
I don't know.
There's a flag there. It's either church or courthouse.
Don't know.
Okay. Well, that looks like Mr. Smith, Smith Trucking of Camargo. That's like
Oh, Harold D. Smith.
Harold D. Smith, Camargo Methodist Church.
Which one?
In the lower middle, Harold Dean Smith was a minister,
Yeah.
ran a trucking company.
So he's next to Abe Lincoln there.
Well,
Yes.
that's actually the Amish ministry brought up from Arthur for the day.
Hmm.
Harold Dean, and I'm trying to recognize some guys in the back there. We should know this guy on the right.
He looks familiar. Looks like
Bill
a-
says the church is still there, and is it still operational?
It's Methodist, yeah. Remember he had that brick house on the corner?
Yeah,
Real
right.
nice
Well,
home.
right next to the church.
What was her name?
Willadine
Yeah.
Smith. Okay, there's the
Oh,
board
there
again.
you go.
That's the same. Well, this is a little different because now you got Sonny Kleiss on there.
And you got Willis Jolly.
Willis Jolly. So this might have been Irv Eaton's going. This might have been 66 then.
Something like 66. Irv Eaton,
66,
Willis
67.
Jolly, Dr. Ragsdale, Dr. Boylston,
Irv.
Sonny Kleiss, A.E. Sonny Kleiss, John Bundy, and Robert Reeder.
Father of our mayor and Jimmy.
And that's when,
Ragsdale in the back there.
yeah, they kept the old boardroom they kept at the North Board School.
Looks like your church, Bill.
Well, I must have been inside.
Bill, is that you down there with that hat?
No, he's a cute little guy.
That
But
plaid,
you would think I would know who these folks were.
that plaid coat.
That's Mrs. I want to say her name was Sexton, but I can't say that for sure. So I won't.
I'm thinking this is your Presbyterian church in
It's
Tuscola,
Presbyterian Church.
based on those.
License plate says about,
Well, those are 60. That's a 50. Over here is a 57 or 8 Ford,
possibly.
I think. Maybe not.
Do you have any names on that?
Nope.
That's a Ford there. Oh, that's gonna be hard to see. There's a 57 Chevy.
You know what? If I had to bet money on this one, I'd say this was at Newman. And that looks like John Smith to me. Oh, that's Richard Wax right there.
On that Tim Hole right here.
No, well, it looks like Tim Hole, doesn't it?
Yeah,
Go to your right.
your left, David.
Yeah. Wrong way.
Go to our left and your right.
This way?
The other way.
57
That's our
Chevy.
left. It looks like Tim Hole with his finger up his glasses. Then go a little here. I got to get rid of this. That looks like John Wax, maybe.
Could be John. It looks like Richard, doesn't it? To me, it did. John Wax.
Well, Tim Hole was
But that's not Tim because Tim's much younger than John.
well,
Wax was. That looks like John Smith, who was in class of 65 with those glasses
Well,
on.
let's look at these houses in the back.
Well, I'm looking at the houses. I spent a lot of time in Newman.
Well, you spent probably a little bit too much based on
Probably.
what your dad told me.
Yeah,
Don't ever come home and do that again.
no. Let's see. Which
Yeah.
church?
That Jack Jones's church. That United Church of Christ.
No,
You go there too?
no.
So you're never inside it. You wouldn't know if that's it.
No. Don't,
I think it looks like that to me.
no.
You've been there?
Well, you have.
The United Church of Christ on,
Yeah.
what street is that? Pembroke? Yeah, I don't think it is.
Okay, what do you think it is?
Where Ralph Deal is, I don't know.
I
I
think
think
that's
it's
where it
out of
is.
town.
What do you think it
I
is?
think that's, yeah, Church of Christ.
My wife supports me, which is very good.
Whatever Becky says goes.
Right. Seems like it is.
Well, that's Mr. Gordy up on the left.
Red Prophet on the far right.
C.W. Gordy, and that's Mr. Powell, Tom Powell, second from the
Powell.
right. Not sure who, we should know the guy in the super black Cape Crusader glasses.
What's Gordy doing with the, oh, it must be ABC or something like that. Because he was the manager of the phone company.
Yeah, it could be. Rotary. Oh, go back to that shot. I think right underneath Red Prophet is Sharon, his wife.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's Tom Powell's wife or not, right below him. I don't know.
Well, Jackie Brookins says Mr. and Mrs. Tom Powell,
Okay.
Good enough.
second from right.
Randy's walking in.
There's Mr. Gordy again. We should know the guy with glasses, and Tom Powell.
He was a featured speaker.
I'd like to buy a pair of glasses like that and hide my rings under my eyes. Oh,
That's a Presbyterian
that's
church.
Joyce Thomas.
And that is Dee Dee Harbaugh.
Oh, boy. Joyce, this is Bill's church. Joyce was Milas. Thomas is what was Milas and
Yeah.
Milas's
Mrs.
wife,
Thomas, Mary.
Mary Thomas. And they had an older daughter, and Joyce was my class, very bright, very sweet.
Dee Dee's class of 66 from Newman.
I had a date with her. And there's Dee Dee, and I think I had a date with Dee Dee.
Did you?
Yeah, did you?
I had more than one.
Okay, Bill, I think Dee Dee was serious with Bill.
Well, I don't know. How
Well,
serious she
okay, but
was.
don't commit yourself today. I mean, you're 75 years old. I mean, too late now. So Dee Dee Harbaugh was married to a good friend of ours, was Donnie Akers,
Mhm. That was first husband.
first husband, and Donnie went on to be principal, basketball coach, superintendent at Unity. And Dee Dee, last I talked to her some years ago, was a State Farm insurance agent up in Muhammad. Joyce passed away early.
Yeah, she did. I like Joyce.
Yeah.
Good girl.
There's Frank Mitchner right in the middle. This is right there is the Tuscola Brain Trust back in
Belts.
with left to right is Red Prophet, C.W. Gordy, Frank Mitchner. Don Belts ran the Eisner. That's
Willie
Boyd.
Fromm in the back. That's
Boyd
Boyd.
Henderson on the far right. There's a
Willie Fromm.
good Dennis Dietrich and Mr.
Bill Roach.
Bill Roach. Who was he married to? Now, look at Boyd Henderson there, David. Look at that.
Boyd looking good.
He cleaned up good, didn't he?
That's a young Boyd.
That's a young Boyd.
This is probably 65.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Denny's recognizable.
And he's recognizable.
Mhm.
There's that church meeting again. They're probably kicking. Oh, there's right back there.
That's Willis Jolly.
Willis Jelly in the back. Looks like they're firing the minister. Oh boy, there's you.
Oh, that's
Carol Teeters
Carol Peters.
and Helen Shuey.
Helen Shuey. Yeah.
Helen Shuey married Carol Teeters' brother, Jim Teeters, and that might be
Lisa.
Lisa
McAllister
Lisa
now.
McAllister.
And I saw Lisa last night at the baseball game. Her son played second base.
Carol was married. Carol was a Tuscola Warrior one year, dressed up. She'd be in prison right now if they caught her in the Indian outfit.
Mhm. Was pretty girl.
Huh? She married Richard Lindsay. What'd you say?
Mhm.
Don't say Indian.
No.
Native, I said Native American.
Lisa lives down the street from me.
Yeah.
Catholics, we're back to Bill's church out front.
There's a good picture of the old Dunn's drugstore, though.
Now, Bill.
That's Mr. Riggs. They lived in that brick house on, it was just for sale. It should go outside of Garrett, on the east side of Garrett. Real nice brick
It's where,
home.
yeah. It's about quarter mile on the
About a quarter
north
mile.
side, brand new
On the
house.
north
Did
side.
it sell?
I believe, yes, it did, because the last time I just drove by
Sue-
it the other day.
Sue Gossett lived there, I think, when she got remarried.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah, that was the Riggs home. I think that's who that is. You
He
got
started-
anything on that?
he started Rick's Beer up in
Oh.
Champlin.
Is that me walking across the street?
That's you trying, just thinking about going into church and you just can't pull the plug.
Kind of dressed up, looking snazzy.
Oh, this is
I don't have any names on this one.
That's because they're out of towners.
this could be the Camargo Methodist Church. I don't know.
Excuse me.
Humboldt or Galton.
Okay, this is the old, the church the original United Church of Christ that,
I
They
think
had-
this is Catholic church, Mike. There's a courthouse.
Yeah, Catholic Church.
okay, I was thinking the ones just right across the caddy
Yeah.
corner.
Be
Who
my
is
guess.
that?
You might recognize these two back here in the background.
Yeah, that's Greg Skinner and Bill.
Huh. Actually, the one in the
Taller.
the taller boy, we can't see. We've got something here.
Can you
on
take
this.
it down a little bit or bring it sideways? Like Kahneman? Is that a Kahneman boy? Danny?
And that is David and Dirk Dietrich.
Oh my gosh.
You got to be kidding me.
Well, there's a blast from the past.
Boy, that's something else. David and Dirk.
Wow.
And this is I commented, this is why I don't, I could have cropped this picture just, for the people posing, but I try to leave the
Oh.
background in because sometimes
Yeah.
find
I'll
interesting
put the background.
things in the
Yeah, you
background.
pick up, yeah. That's where all the action is in the background.
Yeah.
Well, this is that church again. No, that's a Tuscola guy, I think.
Looks like Burl Mills.
Looks like Burl Mills to me.
Oh Lord, who's that? We know him.
Oh, yeah. That was the arch enemy of Dick Tracy.
I think so. Gosh. Oh. Do you have names on this?
No, don't have any names on this one.
I think Burl Mills, lower left. Oh, there's Bud
Oh.
McMorris.
That's at the Presbyterian Church.
Yeah.
That's Rosie and Bud McMorris.
Sold State
What a
Farm.
nice picture.
Stole State Farm, came up from Greenup area. Stan was my class, and
Jeff was my class.
they said
He hit a golf ball pretty good.
he was a
too.
good golfer. They said that when they moved to Tuscola, they built exactly the same home. It's where Danny Cleveland lives now,
Across from the museum.
North Museum. They built the exact same home they had in Greenup.
He was a go-getter.
Bud was and his boys both sell State Farm, or they sold State Farm insurance. They followed their
Very
best.
successful, I think.
Rosie was a good singer. I think she may have sung at WDZ, in fact. I think
You know what? I believe you're correct.
I think Rosie was a
Yeah.
great singer. And Stan is a great singer and is a member of a barbershop quartet down in Charleston.
Seriously.
Yeah, he still sings, I think. You still sing?
Well, every now and then I'll sing with you in the truck.
Yeah. Is this
Thursday afternoons I
Bill
sing.
Roach or not?
That is Bill Roach. That boy, his is going to be a big. His name was Gary. I remember him. 2 little boys, and that must be Mrs. Roach. I hope it's Mrs. Roach.
This is Bill's church again. Is that Glenn Pugh? No, who is that on?
I don't know. She looks familiar, but I can't tell you who it is. All right, I bet.
O'Laughlin, that is Charlotte, Debbie, and Doug Clay.
Doug Clay.
Oh, Ed Clay was the funeral director with Chuck Burr.
Mhm.
They moved to Arthur. They ran Schrader in Arthur.
His funeral home.
Mhm. Well, he worked for
I remember it.
who was when Fred remarried, what was her name? That owned a funeral home in Arthur. Can't remember. Ed
Bourne?
Clay went, huh?
Bourne.
No, that was Atwood. Anyway, they moved to Arthur. Ed was undertaker. This is all This is all our church.
Pam Thoman. Looks like on the left, looks like Frances Browning.
That is Frances Browning because that's Virginia Toomey.
Oh, that's right.
That's
Mary Toomey, and that's Mark Toomey on the right.
Mark on the right.
My gosh, look at Mark.
Yeah.
Frances and Mary Virginia got married, I think.
Yeah, Mrs. Toomey.
Look up.
I'll be darned. Great picture.
Yeah, Mary Toomey says right to left. Mark Toomey, Nell Toomey, Mary Toomey, Virginia Toomey, Browning, and Mike Browning.
Yeah.
Mike Browning.
This must have been Easter.
She said maybe Easter of 64 or 65. The envelope said 65.
Yeah, I bet it was.
Mary trained in gymnastics 8th grade year, freshman with Miss Pettit, just like Linda Matheny, and was very good. I think they're still good friends. You're right, Virginia Browning. I said a Thoman girl, but that is.
Yeah. Well, she has such dark hair.
Yeah, that is.
Yeah.
Mary's older brother. I just saw Mark
a couple of Saturdays ago.
2 weeks ago when the Ron Wynn celebration of life at the funeral home. Mark came all the way up from Missouri with Janine Hall, his wife. Janine looks like she's dipped in plastic. She looks like she did in high school.
I know it. She never changes.
She may be a Stepford wife. Okay, Bill, here's your church. Maybe.
Yeah.
Or is this Catholic church? This is Catholic church.
No, it's Catholic.
Got to switch gears here.
Yeah.
Well, it looks like Rosemary Smith, second from right, but I don't know.
I don't have any names on this one.
I think so. Now we're back to Presbyterian. And I'm supposed to know all these people.
You should know that gal.
I should.
Did you ever go to church? I mean,
yes.
Seriously.
Yes, I did. Someone knows who these are.
Did you ever meet the people inside the church?
You know what? That's Diane Moore. That's her grandparents, Fred Stevens.
Diane's from your class?
Yeah, I think that's Diane. Got anything?
No.
Hairdresser in Atwood. She passed away some years ago.
Well, I went to the funeral. That's her, and that's her grandparents.
Well, her grandparents, didn't he run the Moore's? They have a restaurant in Ficklin?
No, he's not a Moore. He was a Stevens.
Roscoe?
Huh?
Wasn't Roscoe Moore her granddad?
I don't know about that, but I will show you when we take our drive today.
We'll have to go grave hunting today. Now, surely Bill's in this one because this is inside the church. There's Chris Hill in the very back, tall guy.
Yep. Other little boys we don't know, but we would like to have one of those cakes today.
Yeah.
They look good, don't they?
Mm-hmm.
Chris was what, class of 70?
Can't tell you.
I think he was class 1970. Tom Harrison, that gang. Okay.
I've got names on this one.
Oh, I just can't remember.
We dated them, we just forgot their name.
According to Marilyn Klein, left to right is Gloria Randolph, Ann Sims, Janet Quick from
Oh,
Atwood.
they're
These
from
are
Atwood.
These are Atwood girls. Ann Sims,
Ann Sims.
her brother married my classmate, Wish Dunn.
Yeah, it's Greg Sims' sister.
Yeah.
You remember, at ball games, that's where this picture is associated with that game. That's the Atwood gym.
If
This
I-
is where they used to have the little
if-
concession
If
stand.
I agree, will you buy me a double cheeseburger? when we're
Yes,
done?
I will.
Okay.
I'm telling you, that's,
Well, my dad played in that. My
Atwood.
dad played in that gym in 39.
yeah.
You know, that was the easiest gym in the world to dunk a ball, because it was a wooden floor with a room below it, and it was springy.
It was
You
springy.
went for a layup and you
It had a stage.
you go up for a layup and you hit your head on the rim.
Yeah, it had a stage on the south side of the gym. Boy, those old wooden bleachers were hard.
Yeah, I got to see the last basketball game played inside that gym when my nephew, son Chris, played on the team. It was their final game.
Final game.
That there is my new Ford. They had a problem with the coupler on the rear axle.
Which had fallen on
Look at that.
hard times.
They've got a slight problem there, don't they?
Yeah, they got slight problems.
One of the interesting things about this picture from 1965,
Yeah, the portable
Oh,
phone.
he has one of those. He has one of
the
those cardiac.
telephone.
He has
Yeah,
a cardiac. I thought those were cardiac resuscitators.
I didn't know they had portable phones. And
well, you had to have something because World War II, you had a
They were like walkie-talkies.
phone type thing.
Yeah. He carried his own electrical supply down there around his waist.
yeah, it
that
must have
powered-
been more like a radio.
Yeah. They're all Simonizing the problem there. Here are the Catholic Church again. Is that come on, these boys look familiar.
David, back in those days when you went to church, you were all cleaned up and
Mhm.
everyone went.
Except we've got no visual proof Bill did.
No, you may not have that.
Well, we had them outside of a church.
Yeah.
Well, Bill sent it to you just so you could see. Do you have any, by the way, names on that one back there?
No,
On the bottom right, that's Susan Van Voris, whose mother was Elizabeth Van Voris, who was the great music teacher.
Right above
That's
is
Wayne Henniger.
Wayne Henniger from my class. Susan is from 67. Andrea, Bill's wife's class. And they're both music expert. Wayne was along with Jim Allison and Angela Black were our top musical talents.
Is that Mrs. Henniger?
Looks like Thelma, but I'm not sure. A little bit like Thelma. She's too big for Thelma, I think. Oh, there's Mr. Smith's church over in Camargo, a Methodist church. That's your church, Presbyterian. You should have bought that, Bill. Saved it.
I should have.
You had the money.
I don't know who this is.
That's Atwood again, isn't it?
Hold that picture a second, would you please?
the last one,
This picture right here.
this picture.
Yeah.
I've got names on this one.
Yeah.
The
Get it out.
girl on the right is Joanne Coberline.
Ding, 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 ding.
Was she a Posodum girl?
Atwood.
Oh, she's Atwood.
Marilyn Klein says left to right, Patsy Reisner, ? Mrs. Wanda Newland, and Joanne Coberline.
Why did the Coberline from Posodum?
They are from Posodum. There's a lot of them. I mean,
Yeah.
Little Grove.
Okay. That's the all men's church at Camargo Methodist.
There's Bud Rice.
Bud Rice in the second from the right, all the
And
way
then
back.
that's Willis Jolly there.
And this is somebody we should know right here in the middle.
I didn't have any names.
Well, that looks like Chuck White in the back left, in the upper left.
But it's not.
Is this Arthur or Atwood?
Could be
Atwood.
Arcola.
Well, it's got an A jacket there, and it's got that water pipe.
I don't
This
recognize any of them.
looks like Atwood.
I don't recognize any of them.
I remember playing at
Probably
60.
Atwood, since we had that Atwood game.
Well,
Marilyn
remember John
Klein
Tate?
says Larry
remember-
Lost, Coach Dean Strobel, Barry Berg, question mark, and then Tom.
In 65, I remember Bobby Sullender was a standout for them. And then I think Shable was their center.
John
John.
Strobel was a coach. I remember him my senior year.
Well, Mike Helfrich says Coach Don Swallow. Let me
Well,
look.
he had different names depending on where they won or lost. If they lost, he was Don Swallow. That'd be good, wouldn't it? Have two names.
It'd be real good.
If you lose, you say, call it a News Gazette says Coach Don Swallow here. We got beat 3-75. That's Atwood's, Jim.
And a couple of people asked if that's Tom Badger on the right, but Tom says no.
Well, Tom ought to know.
Should know.
I defer to the person who it actually is.
Yeah.
Well, there's Frank Lincoln back when he was state's attorney in the
Mhm.
late 50s. Well, no, 60. This is probably 64 or 5. Harry Pate, the judge. Tom Van Vorst, the circuit clerk. And that was probably the associate judge. And I don't know who that was at the time. Young Frank.
Mhm.
Budge was stationed, and this is, now there's Thelma Henniger. On the upper right is Wayne Henniger's mother,
And Dad.
and there's his dad, buried out here in Tuscola Cemetery. So, and I think Wayne was maybe an only child. I've got a CD of Wayne in a quartet doing gospel songs. Wonderful, wonderful voice, good singer.
And that's it.
Yeah. Well, that was a blast in the past. Bill got some special roses for recognizing people that nobody in the world would recognize.
Bill was on it.
He's on it. A lot of people say Bill's lost it, and I just think we proved that that's not true.
Well, I appreciate it. All the compliments.
You can tell your doctor, Bill, that
Bill, I don't care what everybody says. I think you still got it.
Still got it.
no dementia here.
I don't care what Andrea said. I don't care what Andrea said. I still think you're with it.
That's true.
David, I tell you what, I can't. Mr. Pettit,
Those are wonderful.
he was
portraits.
a pro. Don't you think he was just a top-notch pro? Of course, he had a negative the size of your house, so he should be able to get good shots, but he still had good
negative, usually better quality picture, that's for sure.
Our senior pictures.
Our senior pictures. I had a senior picture by Pettit. My only complaint was I've still got, no, I was in my junior. I had a vein in my head, and he had the shadow cast. Looks like someone took a black marker down my head. No, he was top notch. Didn't you like all those poses, wearing their natural clothes, the farmers? There were some iconic shots in there.
Yeah.
Looked like the warrior. Looked like the Depression or the
A little
warrior.
bit of Americana there.
Americana. Yeah, that's one. And you saved all that stuff from. I mean, that stuff would have wound up going just in the trash, right? All these.
These pictures from Pettit's, Patty Phillips had them.
Patty Hill. Yeah, Patty Hill had those. She did a good
And,
job keeping Tuscola history.
When she died, she left them to Randy Hastings.
Well, that was sweet of her.
And then Randy passed them on to me.
You know, he did award-winning photos of when USI was built with those metal towers out there. He won some national awards in photography. He also did some great shots of Tuscola in the 50s. And Patty had them developed into 20 by 30 big. And
Mhm.
when Tom Harris had his restaurant button chucks, they were all over the walls. Remember?
I wonder what happened to those.
I don't know. I wanted to get my hands on them, and I don't know whatever happened to them. I don't know if Tom gave them back to Patty or, but he was a big city professional photographer. We were lucky to have him here in Tuscola. Before him, there was Olin Mills. Remember the Olin? I've got a baby picture. My only baby picture says Olin Mills on it. I think that was one of those franchise deals. Didn't they do that all over the nation? Olin at Sears or Walgreens or someplace.
They took my picture on the back of a horse. Remember the guy'd bring your horse through the town and I'd go house to house and give you a cowboy hat and chaps and you'd sit on a horse.
I've got a
real
picture.
good one.
I've got a picture of Melinda sitting on a Palomino, and there's Froggy right next to him down at Bush's house.
Seriously.
When he had a horse come in, and they charged it was $1 to get your picture taken on the horse with Smiley Burnett, and they were lined up. And Melinda's crying. I don't know if she was crying because she's overwhelmed with joy for seeing Froggy, or because she's scared of the horse.
I imagine she's afraid of the horse.
She had a hat on too. She had a little.
I think there's a picture of me up at the post office
Mm-hmm.
on the wall. That's where they put the most wanted pictures.
What are you up to now? What's
I'm about 5'7".
I mean, what's the money for you now?
Huh? Oh yeah. It's only about $10,000, I think.
Yeah. Ray Lee, I remember when I was very first a lawyer, I was in court watching a civil trial with Ray Lee, and there was an intersection wreck, and he had some of the thing. He had a police officer, and he says, "What was the shape of the sign?" He says, "Good shape." He said, "No, the shape." He says, "I'm telling you, it's a good shape." He said, "No, I mean, was it, I mean, shape." He said, "It was a good shape." And finally the judge goes, he's wanting to know if it was square or rectangle. He said, "Oh, okay. I don't know," he said, "but it was good shape." So words are tough sometimes.
Like, Steinway is a piano.
Mhm.
What's a Henway?
I don't.
About 3 pounds.
David, you
We're not recording
David,
now, are we?
Yes, David, you've got the
Uh-huh.
whole world in your hands with all your great successes, and you're going to jerk victory from the jaw. You're going to jerk defeat from the jaws of victory with your puns.
Oh, man.
Puns just take you down, David.
Yeah.
Well, David, those were fantastic.
They were good.
And once again, it's quite a public service you're doing, putting these in the domain. And I don't know how long stuff lasts. Film doesn't last forever and stuff. Is the digital world, how long can the digital stuff last?
Forever.
Yes, it's up in the cloud, isn't it? When you post this on your Facebook,
On the internet, it's there.
yeah, if it's in a cloud somewhere.
Well, and
Unless
our
Are we in a
sponsor,
Well, that's what
sponsor this week is Elite Builders. So we thank them for helping out.
awful nice of them.
Keeps
You
it
put,
going.
you put a lot of work in this, and Bill and I don't come cheap.
Well, we have to earn a little something.
We get
Well,
It was fun today.
David.
If I worked a 40-hour week, I would say I spend 25% of my time on these pictures. But since I work more than a 40-hour week, it's more like 10%.
Yeah.
Well, you did a nice job today, and we thank you.
Well, Bill and I are retired, but we came out of retirement just for this.
Yep. And I appreciate it.
And it stopped our Social Security until this ends. We're off Social Security.
So I know you're on a fixed income.
It is.
Yes, we are.
We are.
But Bill's going to buy my cheeseburger
That's
today.
something I always, you hear people, oh, they're retired, they're on a fixed income. Well, you know what? I'm on a fixed income.
Well, what that means
All on
is
a fixed
we don't have the
income.
ability to go out and work a second job or make extra money somewhere else. We're done. If inflation takes off if inflation takes off at 10% or 20% for a few years, people on fixed incomes are killed. People who work should get big raises to match it.
Well,
Okay.
Thanks a lot, David.
all right. Thanks. We'll see you next week on Remembering Tuscola.